Hey, it's Kim. Welcome to the sign making workshop. We are making an Easter sign today in the hopes that it will um, get the Easter Bunny to come. No, in the hopes that it'll get spring to show up because I'm so over this winter. I'm living in Ottawa, Ontario, and I don't know, it seems like neck deep in snow and ice, and it just doesn't want to go away. So if we make a cute Easter sign, do you think that yeah, there we go. You don't have any lights on it. Do you think that the Easter Bunny might show up, or do you think that spring might finally come? I really am ready for it. Let me just get this turned on so I can see your comments, and we'll get started in a second on this cute little sign. So, where am I? Oh, there she's live. Look, I managed to get it without all the talking. Okay. So I'm videotaping in horizontal mode. Okay, so turn your phone like this and you'll see a much better picture. Like that. Hang on now. I don't know what's good. Turn it that way. So you'll see a much better picture that way than if you have it that way. Because then it turns into a little 2-inch thing. But I'm going to turn it this way so that I can see your comments. So say hi when you come on. Tell me where you're from. Did you finish dinner? How's your Friday night going? You enjoying your Friday night? We just had a big plate of spaghetti and some beer, and now we're having it's Diet Coke, right? That's what's really in here. So I have it in here so if I spill it, because I'm a bit of a klutz sometimes. So this is the cute little sign we want to paint. And this is a new product that we're probably going to introduce either to our workshops. I need you guys to tell me, when we're done this, would you want to buy one of these just like this at a discounted price and do it yourself at home? Or would you rather see it in a workshop and do it in a workshop setting? You know, book a party with your friends and I bring these, and anyway, watch what happens and you decide. So it comes like this. It's a three-part, it's in 3 pieces. There's a backing, a front, like a clear front cover you can't see. Let me see if I can lift it up a bit there. Like that. See that? Can you see that? So there's a clear front cover. So it's like a decal, basically, okay? So it comes to you like this, already with all the bits taken out of it, so it looks nice and pretty. And what we need to do is we need to smooth that front stuff, it's called transfer tape, onto it so that it sticks really good to the blue, and then it's going to pull the blue off the paper backing. So we get it nice and firm, and we get all those little circles and stuff like that to stick to the transfer tape so it can transfer to your board, which has been painted. In this case, shellacked, because it has these big knots in it. So I shellacked the knots so they will not bleed through the white. And then I painted it white, nice solid white. Not a color I don't normally do solid white. I usually do rustic, but today I was in the mood for Easter. So, on spring, oh my gosh, I'm so ready for spring. What we do is we grab one corner of this, and I'm just using a pair of tweezers. You can use whatever you have on hand. And you start to pull it back nice and gently. See how low I'm going here? And you can see that some of the little pieces might want to stick. So you just use your nail and you just rub. Now I'm using all new materials here, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, okay? So we're just going to give her a go. Let's see. See how it likes to come up a little bit? See, I'm taking my little scraper and I'm scraping at the edge and then pulling back again. You can also use your finger, like I can use my finger like that, and make it stick. Nail, if you have nails. There's my husband working downstairs. Can you hear him banging away? So do a nice firm scrape again, because you want all the bits to come up. Another way you can do this is flip this thing right over and come at it this way. And if a piece wants to come up, you just push it down like that and keep rolling it back, rolling it back. See, there's a piece wanting to come up right there. Can you see that? Let me get that closer. And you just push it down with your finger and keep rolling it back, and see, it just comes right off. You don't want anything left on this paper, right? But you don't want it to come off unless you realize where it goes. Like there's a little tiny dot right there that belongs in the A, so I'm going to push this back. So it goes where it belongs and it stays there. And you just have a little patience. And there, it's off. And there's nothing left on the backing. This is a waxy kind of a paper it's stuck to. Okay. So now you have this. Now this is sticky. See, it's taped. It's like tape. Okay, it's sticky, and you've got it like so. So we're going to take it. Can you see it there? How it looks? All right. We're going to take it and stick it to the board. Now you have this particular type of stencil material. This type of vinyl is removable to a point. So you get a chance to try where you want to put it, look around, decide, but before you stick it down, right? So you have a chance to, you're like, oh, I don't think I like it there, so you just lift it up. Okay, and keep looking. Make sure nothing stays on your board. So, all right, so we're going to just eyeball it, because I like to do that. That's just how I roll. I have a really good eye for straight and level. I often say it's a really weird talent I had all my life, and I didn't know why until I started sign painting with people. And it's great at parties when I can go, yep, show me that, yep, it's fine, you're good, straight and level, carry on. Saved a lot of people some grief that way. So I'm just kind of going, how far from the side? It's 2 and 2, almost 2.5. It's about the same on each side. That's how I measure. All right. And then I'm just going to smooth it down. Okay. Now, like I say, I have not painted a board before. I stained it. I've worked with this material and I've stained it, but I have not used paint. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to find out together. All right. So now you want to just give it a nice rub, because you're trying to get that blue sticky paper to stick to the board so that you can take the clear stuff off. Because right now it's covered in clear stuff and you can't actually do any kind of painting, okay? Because it's protected by this clear stuff. So now you're going to grab the clear stuff, take your nail or your scissors or your tweezers or whatever you're using, and you're going to start rolling it back on itself. Again, similar to the first one, but it's going to leave the blue stuff behind, the blue stencil material, right where you want it. And see those little tiny pieces, they like to come up, so you really have to keep your eye on them, okay? The smaller pieces are what don't like to stick. The big pieces are usually not a problem. See how low I'm keeping it? It seems to be doing a pretty decent job. I'm kind of liking it. So it's a new transfer tape for me, and I think I like it a lot. I do. So I think it's doing a pretty decent job without pulling up the stencil material too much. And if I'm patient, and see, it's the same technique. You just rub it and keep it low. Keep an eye on it. You just watch along this line when it's rolling back, right? You just watch that and make sure that if anything's coming up, it's going to come up along there, and that's when you stop and you redo it. See, it's coming up along that line, so I'm going to roll it back a little bit, rub it with my nail, and then flip it back again. And it's just patience. Okay, this is the hardest part. Okay, it's just the part that requires the patience, right? That you do it slowly so that nothing gets lost. If it does, it's not a big deal. I have a little paintbrush here to save the day later if I need to. Okay, so we just keep at this, and then in about 2 seconds, we're going to be ready to paint. So once we get this off, all right, I'm just going to stick this there. Once that application tape comes off, just smooth it with your hands. Make sure all the little bubbles are out, especially along the edges. Okay, just give it a nice smooth. And I see there's a bubble there. So now this is the beauty of this stuff. You can lift it. Take your tweezers, lift it a little bit, and then lay it back down and get rid of that bubble. Okay? You can't do that with most other vinyls, but you can with this one. And that is probably why I like it so much. So everything looks good. I can't see any, oh, I can see a few bubbles there. You can kind of lift, have a look at it like this, you get a better view. Don't just look from here, but do a little side-to-side action, and you'll see if there's any bubbles along the edges. And I think I have them all. All right. So that means what happened is we took that tape all off. Now all this white stuff, it's hard to do this. All this white stuff now is the negative space. It is the painted part of the board, and when I put paint on it there, that's what's going to be painted. Thank you, I appreciate that. So whatever's white here is going to turn into whatever color we put on there, okay? I can see the lights are messing with it. So we're going to be painting in there, okay? And then we're going to pull this whole thing off at the end and see what we get. It's a bit of a surprise, but, oh, hey, Lisa, how are you? Lise and Heather, hi. This is a stencil vinyl, Lise and Heather, so that's what I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet, but I kind of like it so far. All right, so any opinions on colors? I'm kind of wanting the spring colors, and I have this sort of minty green. Let's see if you can see that. I think I really want to use that. I have a baby blue. I'm not really a pastel fan, but I think for Easter I do like it. I've got some yellow. Let's see, put them back here where you can see them. I think some green for the leaves. I think that'd be my plan. I'm not sure where the purple's going to go, but I think it needs a little bit. And then I've got some pink here as well. Okay, so we are going to stencil with the makeup sponge. That's how I like to do it. You can stencil with a brush too. It's completely however you're comfortable with it. So I'm thinking that I'd like to maybe sell these stencils like single stencils at a time, so that you can buy one and you can do it at your place, or you can buy a bunch and you can do those at your place with a little lesson online just like this, but more close up, probably with my camera focused right on it so that you can get all the details, all the nitty-gritty details that you need. And I think I might want to sell the stencils like this. So I'm thinking about putting this stencil into the made-to-order sale that we're having right now, that goes on all week. Now I see this is very light pink. Okay, so that might be too light on the white. I don't think that's going to really show up. Let's see what a second coat looks like. Oh, okay, that might not be so bad. One coat would definitely not be enough with this. The one coat of the pink, definitely not. But I like it for 2 coats, so we'll go with that. So I'm thinking I'd like to sell them. This one would probably be about $12.50, maybe $13, shipped in the mail to you, and you obviously provide your own wood, and you paint it at your leisure. And then, of course, send me a picture, but let me know what it looks like. That's kind of my idea right now. So if you're interested in something like that, I think I'll be putting a few in the made-to-order sale that's on our event page. If you look on our event page, there's only one event going on right now. It's a sale that we're running all week, and every day I'm adding new signs that will be made to order for the people that order them. So there'll be different signs like, let's see if you can see what's behind me here. This one will be, it's not up there yet. I've only loaded 5 in today. I'll do 4 or 5 a day. So these will be coming up. You can order one of these, and it'll be made for you. We can order, I'm thinking, oh yes, something like this. Okay, this is and it can say family, or it can say blessed, or it can say friends, or things like that. We have right now the spring porch sign is in there, and a couple of other wedding signs. So there's a few things already that are up and at them. So it's open now. So what you do is you go into the event page and look in the discussion tabs, and each discussion post has its own sign with a link to the sale, and it's limited numbers of signs, because it is a sale. So I sell them normally for other prices, and I am going to sell them for a sale price, and when they're gone at that price. So don't wait around if you really want one of them and you think, oh, I like that. Ooh, I like that color. Look at that. That's nice. That's very springy, Eastery, isn't it? So I'm just deciding what colors to paint here. So you can look in the event and you can see what's up for sale every day. It's going to be something new every day for the next 6 days. Okay, so keep an eye on it. And I think I will be adding some of these stencils in, so you can order them and do them yourself at home. Okay, and they'll come in the mail. The shipping on them will be a couple of bucks, maybe $2 or $3, because I'll be able to put them in an envelope and send them to you. So that's where we get to be Canada Post, because I've got shipping on all the signs, but you can pick no shipping. I've given you all the instructions in the event on how to do that. But the shipping is not cheap, I have to tell you that. Canada Post does not make it cheap to ship big wooden signs. So the prices are all accurate. If you do order a sign and you want it shipped, which means you can share this post or this event with your friends across the country. If they want a custom sign, I'm happy to make it for them and send it to them, okay? But it is not cheap to ship. It's a minimum of like $15 to $20 to start with. And then it goes up to about $40, $45 for the biggest signs, the 6-foot signs. That runs about $40, $45. So just so you're aware, that's just how it is. I can't change that. But free pickup here in Orleans on Saturday mornings. I will email you or, I'll let you know as soon as your sign is ready. And then we'll arrange a Saturday morning for you to come and pick it up. There we go. Oh, this is going to be cute. I'm so ready for spring. I'm so over this winter stuff. I really am. So I want something to, I'm going to make the bunny in this color. I really like this color. Can you see it's blocking? You see what's happening there? See how it's starting to fill in the color? Okay. So, I think I like the bunny in this color. Yep. Now, as it's a darker color, it might not need too many coats. The lighter colors always need more coats. The darker colors are, they require less usually. And that's true for all paint, all the time. So, I know, because I paint a lot of stuff. I paint a lot of signs, I paint a lot of furniture. I've learned a lot about paint. So, and I pass all that knowledge on to you. Now, does anybody have an opinion on what color I should do the little white section here that says tails? I'm going to leave that for a minute. We got purple, blue, yellow. The green's going to go for the leaves. So, anybody got an opinion on that? Sing out now before I change my mind and decide on what I'm going to do. So, I think I'll do the leaves while you guys think about that. So, let's see. Purple, blue, green, yellow or purple, Heather? Okay. Anybody else? Lise, do you have an opinion on this? Or a third person there that I don't know your name? I don't get your name unless you actually make a comment. I know you're out there. I can see a number on my screen, but I don't know who you are. So unless you're Facebook friends with me, I don't get your name. I know, Facebook's funny like that, eh? So purple or yellow. I'm just doing the leaves right now while I wait to hear from Lise. Maybe Lise is gone. Maybe she doesn't have an opinion. I don't know. Purple. All right. Heather votes twice for purple. Okay, Heather. Let's go with purple. Purple for Marianne. Okay. Purple it is, folks. We will do purple. See? I love this interactive stuff. Purple coming up. Anybody else? Purple it is. I actually think it's going to look really nice. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Let's move that over. You see that? I know, it doesn't look like much right now, does it? When you're working on it? That's true when you're painting most of the time. It doesn't look like much until you're finished. Is everybody done work for the weekend? I'm not. I'm doing the live, and then what am I doing tomorrow? Getting more stuff in the sale. Mind you, I don't work that many hours on the weekend. And I might do another live Sunday night, but I'm not sure yet. This one might count as my live for the week. So we'll see. We'll see how the weekend goes. Oh, I got some purple on the green. Touch it up. Oh, Heather! Heather's in my. I belong to a business coaching group, which means I have a business coach, And her name is Ashley Rates, and she runs creative, what's it called, Heather? I'm looking at my screen. Creative something. I want to say Creative Connections, but that's not it. That's the group, that's the private group we're in. But the business is Creative Strategies Business Coaching. And I love her. She's so much fun. So she's a little firecracker, which I am not, okay? But she really is. So it's kind of fun to watch her. So yeah, if you're looking for a business coach online and you want to grow your business, definitely check out Ashley Rates. I think I'm saying her name right. I hope I'm saying it right. Creative Connections. That's the Facebook page we get to join when we're a member of Creative. The other word. Anyway, I wasn't planning on talking about it, so I don't have it in my head right now. But Heather, what kind of business do you run? Since I know now you have a business because you're in a business group. So I think I'm going to go, let's go blue with the final little word. So, alrighty. The thing with the sponges is you just snip off the end, you get a fresh brush basically. Okay, so blue it is. So Heather must have a business because she's in a business coaching group. Obviously, she's trying to grow her business as well. So, yeah, I'm a big business. I'm a business coach. Doesn't that sound like impressive? All right. Okay. I think that's good. I know. This is the ugly duckling stage when you're using something like this. Okay. If the painting is all done, you want it to dry a little bit, but you don't want to dry too much. It should be just dry to the touch. So I'm just going to wave my magic wand over it just to make sure it's not shiny anymore. And then I'm going to take that stencil material off and you're going to see the finished product. And if there's any touch-ups that we need to do, like I say, I brought my little magic fixer-upper brush. All right, so as I said, we're having a sale, and you can definitely go to the events page and see it. Yeah, now see, look, that all looks dry, doesn't look shiny at all, okay? So we're ready. We're ready to take it off and see what happens next. Good God, I hope this works. All right, so let's grab it from here and start rolling it down. Oh, it is taking quite a bit of the paint. All right. I wondered if it might. That's okay though, that's why we have the magic brush, right? So we can do touch-ups. Oh, that's kind of cute. All right, so we do that, and then there's just a few pieces left on the inside. We pull those out. I'll do that now. So it's starting to come off. I actually probably should have pulled them out before. Can you reuse the stencil, Marianne? Nope, not these ones. This is a single use, but you get some really great looks, so I think it's worth it. A reusable stencil, which we use a lot of in our classes, takes a lot longer to design, and there's some limitations on what you can do with it. I'm talking to the phone when I should be talking to you. So, replying to Marianne. Oh yeah, that's okay. Marianne, it's okay to ask questions. I love to ask questions. I teach all the time, and questions are the way that we're going to learn. I ask all kinds of questions. If anybody's brave enough to let me ask questions of them, I will ask questions about anything. And I will ask questions all over the place. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can do the smaller pieces. So I'm just pulling up the little bits. Remember those little bits that we had trouble, or we had to, you know, really stick to get down? Well, now they come up carefully. And then they leave lots of great texture and stuff. They pop and fly around a bit too. All right. It turned out pretty well. All right, so there's a couple of little touch-ups I would do on there, but not. I wouldn't actually even use the brush because they're so small. So there's how it turned out. You see that? Cotton tails, bunny tails. I think it turned out pretty cute. So the little touch-ups, you can actually use the end of your sharp object and do just a light scraping for the closest, tiniest little bleeds. But as I say in our class, there's a 5-foot rule. If you can't see it from 5 feet away, don't even bother with it because nobody else is going to. Who's going to notice? So that's how it turns out. I like that. I like it quite a bit. I do notice that when you pull up the stencil material where the paint has been thick on here, when you really paint it thickly, it did pull some off. Okay, so you would want to do like I do and keep some paint handy that you use for the background. And this, of course, will all be in the instructions. So, and then you would just want to touch it up a little bit. I need to shake this up, I think. Hang on. It's separated in there because it's been sitting for a while. This is my quiet time of year at work, at painting parties. It's a very quiet time of year. So the paint's been just sitting there, minding its own business, except for all the experimenting I've been doing. So then I would just touch up any little spots where the paint got pulled up. So you will never know the difference. But you need to be aware of that. That is something that can happen with stencils. Doesn't do that so much if there's just stain, but if you're going with solid paint, this seems to be the case. So I'd say that's good. I'm happy with that. That's a rustic sign. Now you'll see there's a big old knot right here, right there. Can you see that? That's okay. I knew that was there. I painted it, I shellacked it, and I don't mind that. I like a rustic looking sign. I like it to look a little rough and tumble. So if you didn't want that, you would obviously use a piece of wood that didn't have that in it, okay? But if you do use something that has knots in it, when you're using a white paint, be aware that those things like to bleed through, and the way to stop that is to shellac the wood, okay? So that'll prevent it from, it'll put a barrier between the wood and the paint, and that won't happen. So that's it for me tonight. I just thought I'd pop on, remind everybody the sale has started today. It went live at 5 o'clock tonight. And that we are also going to be doing, we'll be putting some stencils in. Let me just grab a couple here so you can see what, I'm going to put a couple in, and if people want them, we'll see how they go. So I think we'll do a couple of the cotton bunnies for Easter. And then I have another one that I was working on. It's called Grow Old Along With Me, The Best Is Yet to Be. And it's about, I don't have a ruler here, it's about a foot, maybe 12 inches long and about 7 inches wide. But these can go in the mail, okay? And they'll come with the transfer tape applied, all the lettering taken out, the transfer tape applied, ready to go on the board. You just peel it off like you saw me do, stick it on your painted board or your stained board, and away you go. So that's it for me tonight. I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy it. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, have a great night. Talk to you later. It's Kim from the Sign Makers Workshop again. All right, now I get to come over here and do the fancy goodbye.